What was the worst job interview you've had? I once had a job interview that still haunts me, and it wasn't for a position I was particularly excited about either. It was for a customer service role at a tech company, and I was desperate at the time. I had no real background in the industry, but I thought it was a good opportunity to get my foot in the door. I showed up early, looking sharp, and went through the usual routine, greeting the receptionist, filling out paperwork, and waiting for the interview to start. The interviewer, a woman in her 40s, called me into a tiny windowless room. She didn't offer a handshake, and she didn't smile. Instead, she immediately dove into the technical questions. I did my best to answer, but I could feel her skepticism. She kept interrupting me mid-sentence, making it clear that she didn't think I had the knowledge she was looking for. It felt like I was constantly being tested, and not in a constructive way. At one point, she even asked me to explain the technical aspects of the job, assuming you actually understand them, which caught me off guard. As the interview dragged on, I started to feel more and more uncomfortable. I thought I was bombing, but I stayed professional, trying to maintain my composure. Then came the moment that made my stomach drop. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "You know, this job isn't really for someone like you." I sat there, speechless, trying to figure out if I'd just heard her correctly. "What do you mean by that?" I managed to ask, my voice shaky. She shrugged and said, "You're just not what we're looking for. This is a fast-paced environment, and we need people who are tough. You don't strike me as tough." The whole room felt like it was closing in on me. I was absolutely stunned by the bluntness of her words. It was a brutal, cold rejection, and I didn't know how to respond. When the interview finally ended, she barely said goodbye. I left the office feeling defeated, but I wasn't ready to give up yet. A few days later, I received an email from her. I thought maybe, just maybe, they had reconsidered. Instead, it was a generic rejection email, thanking me for my time and wishing me the best in my job search. I didn't even get a personalized message. It stung, but in the end, I was glad I didn't get the job. The way the whole interview unfolded made me realize I wouldn't have been a good fit for that environment anyway. It was one of the worst experiences, but it taught me a valuable lesson about trusting my instincts and knowing when to walk away.